Hey, everybody. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. I am here today with a good friend that I can call friend now because I've gotten to know him a little bit. His name is Morgan Latimore, and he is from Jacksonville, Florida. And
Nope.
am I wrong?
Jacksonville, North Carolina. Everybody does that.
Yes, and I'm not going to take it out just so everybody will learn because they're going to do the same thing. It's going to happen
Yeah.
to everyone. Okay, I said corrected, but he has a name that we affectionately call him, and that is Coach. So, first off, today, can you tell us why your name is Coach?
Because I'm always trying to help people, right? I'm always letting people know that, tomorrow could be different. Yesterday has passed, right? I got from, it really came down from physical training. I used to be very big in the triathlon world, Ironman.
Okay.
And so when I was doing that, and I still do it now, it's not as big as I was because I'm doing Augusta now. And I started coaching. I was doing personal training first. I did personal training for some years, and then I became a triathlon coach. And then they started calling me the people's coach, and then Coach Morgan. And so those things started to connect, and then I just went by that ever since. And so now I just focus on helping others that need help, and just so there's somebody to answer the questions that they have.
I love it. That's awesome. We're going to get into some of that first. Uh, First of all, though, how did you first hear about Mike Andes?
Which one was it? The first video was the one with Nick in it.
Oh,
The
okay.
whatever,
Yes.
yeah, that was the first video I watched. My business partner, and we weren't business partners at the time, Mike Hauk. Um, he sent me a video. He was like, "Man, look at this, man!" And it was like Augusta, and this is when Mike was still doing whiteboard stuff. Like it was a long
Yes.
time ago, right?
Back in the day.
And I seen Nick, and Nick had his long hair in his van, and he hadn't even started his location yet. Like he was
No
just about
way.
to do it, right? And he had that. It was like up some. It was it Upworks or up
Upflip.
something, up flip, yeah, some.
Yes.
And I saw that, and then so for me, um, what I've learned over my years of my 46, 40, about to be 47 years of life is I'm different than other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like ADHD, and I'm very high strung, and like I need to I process information way faster than most people.
Mm-hmm.
And my memory is tacked. And so when I started watching Mike, got to me upon something. Man, I felt like he was me. I don't
Yes.
pretend to be as smart as Mike by no means, right? But when I like now when I'll talk, I'll stutter. I used to be like very self conscious about that stuff,
Yeah.
but when I start seeing high functioning people, right,
Yes.
then they do it all the time. When I wrote a book and people would tell me, "Oh, you made a spelling error," well, I said, "You still read the book, right?" So it was all these things, and people telling me that I was inadequate because of my ADHD, and I call it a superpower now. And when
Right.
I saw Mike, and I'm like, dude, this dude is processing, and he's like what they call him now, like was it like Chat GPT Mike or something like that? It was something
Oh,
about he
yes.
just
Yes.
and like you watch him, and I got a lot of respect for him. And then I was solidified as I was like, okay, I retired from the Marine Corps, and then I was watching more of his videos because I just really enjoy. I always wanted to learn more about business, but I hate school, can't
Mm-hmm.
stand it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so he was telling me stuff, and I was like, I'm sitting in this room that I'm sitting in now, doing nothing. I had come back from a year of speaking engagements. I was super busy, and I was kind of like, it was the end of the year, December, and I just like, damn, okay, everybody is like on holiday and stuff like that. So I was sitting there. I said, I'm gonna go cut some grass. And so I got on the back on the YouTube, and I what I did is I pulled up his thing, and I just started. I did exactly what he said to start the location. And so I walked up the house that day, and I started asking my neighbors. And I had 10. He said I need to get 10 clients, and I said I'll come back here when I get 10. I got 10 clients, and then
I
they'll
love
be
it.
here.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That is great to hear. So, your journey to Augusta from there, from that first day when you went out and got the 10 customers, how did you come to get your partner and start Augusta? How long was that after that?
So maybe a few months. It was a few months because we
Okay.
started right. I don't think we were cutting full force yet. And I can't really remember because that area was a blur because it was happening so fast.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Um, but my partner Mike Houck, he lives 2 houses over from me.
Got it.
And so I would cut grass for him and he would try to pay me. I said, no, I'll cut it for free. And so I would take his massive truck out with all the mowers. The first time I went out, it's like he wanted to go to this thing with his daughter, but all his employees weren't available to do it. It was on a Sunday. And so he had to go out by himself and he was going to miss this. And he only gets his daughters for, they from Japan. And so
Oh wow.
they're not always here. And I said,
Right.
I'll do it. And I had never been by myself ever, but I had cut grass with him. He said, you sure? I said, bro, if I can train Marines, I can cut grass. I'll be fine.
Yes,
And
sir.
so I went out and I did the whole, and I actually for the next couple of weeks, I just started going out every Sunday by myself. And it was like my me time, you know,
Wow.
cutting grass. And then I came back, and, we had a couple conversations and we were neighbors, but we didn't like really know each other. And I was like,
Hmm.
dude, we should be partners, man. We should be partners. We should be partners. And he was like, and then I started my company, and then I came back to him, and he was one of the people that helped me like buy the equipment and walk me through stuff and tell me what he did wrong before. And then the day came where I started my company. He had his. I was sitting in the driveway. One of his employees was sitting in his driveway waiting for the second crew member to come. It was she. Matter of fact, she was waiting for the second person to come. I was waiting for my guy to come. We both had full routes. It was hot as hell outside, and
Wow.
then neither one of our guys showed up. And so we got out the truck. We talked about it. We talked to our DN admin, our admin girl then, and he said, "Why don't we just combine routes and we just go all ham on it?" And we cut
Unbelievable.
grass so we cut 24 yards that day,
Wow.
and we had cut the yards faster than we've ever cut them before. It was crazy. I was so tired. I remember I was like,
I
I was
bet.
so wiped out. And Mike came on the back end, and we had just entered our neighborhood, and then we just started cutting. We cut like about 7 more houses, and we just like, and the girl, her name was Allie, and we said, Allie, just get on the mower. Don't stop cutting until you're done. And I picked up a weed eater, and I just went at it, and we just cut till the sun went down, and we got it done.
Incredible. So I bet the
Yeah,
conversation was quite a bit different then when you talked to
it
him about
was.
becoming partners.
I asked him again. He was like, "All right, let's do it." I don't remember Then we went from there, and then we've been growing ever since.
So his job, was it a full-time job, the one he had mowing, or did he have another job besides?
Mike is a Marine as well. Mike was active duty then. I had retired. He was still active duty. And so I think he retired like last year or yeah, at the beginning of the last year, somewhere around that time. But so he was still a full-time Marine.
Okay, so you've been in Augusta for how long now?
Oh, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I got
Is this your anniversary or something?
yeah.
No way. Unbelievable.
My 1 year anniversary, man.
What
Like,
are the
yeah.
odds of that? Congratulations.
Yeah, it just hit me like before I came in the house. I was like, oh
No,
my God,
that's
it's
so
been
cool.
yeah, 1 year today.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so for the listeners, we'll let them know that you do have a partner. You started Augusta together. When you had your first phone call with Lee, were you on that call together, or did one or the other of you take it?
No. I actually had when I had my own company when I was by myself, I had talked to Lee.
Okay.
Um and that was be like I think it wasn't Mike had never Mike Houck, my partner, had never talked to Lee, and I talked to Lee just because I was like by myself, and I was like, I'm already doing Mike, and I wrapped the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
My trucks were yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a it was called mooing, Moowing, like mowing, right? But it was a cow mascot, you know. So I was like I don't know if you ever seen Coming to America where they have McDonald's and you got McDowell's.
Yes,
I was
yes.
the opposite. Yeah, I was like that was me, and so I did everything that like that, and then we got together and we talked about it. But then I went. I've never been to a conference. I've spoken at a lot of conferences, a lot. I had never been to one to like receive the information as an attendee.
Okay.
So was it 2 years ago? Yeah, I went to the last time we had everybody together, not
Yeah, the
not
Blue
just
Collar
Gus.
Summit.
Yeah, the Blue Collar Summit, and I decided to pay my own money after I had a one-on-one coaching call with Mike. I spent that money, and that
Okay.
$1,500. I was like, and they everybody thought I was crazy. You spending $1,500 to talk to somebody? I talked to Mike. We made like 70 extra grand that year just because of what he
Amazing.
told me, right? And then and so I went out there, and then I was sitting in the audience, and I went over there, and I knew a little bit of Lee. I had talked to Mike, so they kind of recognized me. And
Hmm.
then he had the spiel that he had at the last day he talked, and he had this
Yes.
the first time he had like presented it franchises to the public. He said, "This is the last chance to get this price," and then he explained what I was getting. I was like, "Hold on." Like I'm in a contract that I can get out of, and I can take my people with me. And then he said one thing. This is the one thing that got me. This is the one thing where I was like, it was a no brainer. He said, "My job is not to like if you want to leave, I'm gonna let you go." He said, "My job is to create value for you every day." And I was
Yes.
like, "Well, hell." I said, Lee, I walked out. We had a break. I went to Lee. I was like, I'm sold. Let's sell my partner. And I could have sworn like my partner Mike was going to like resist. I called him. I said, "Hey man," I had him on speakerphone. Lee was right standing right next to me, and I was like, "Hey man, all right, I'm at the conference. I just need you to listen to me. I don't want you to make the decisions yet, and I don't need a decision now, but I want you to hear me." And I started selling. Like literally, I was like, A, B, C. He was like, "All right, just do it." I was like, "What?"
Wow. I bet Lee was loving that.
Yeah. He said, "Like, just do it." And so right then I pulled my credit card out and Lee took care of it.
Fantastic. And it's been a year. Unbelievable. So much has
Yeah.
happened in that year, and I'm so excited to hear about that too. But I want the listeners to hear like these touch points of your life that I've been curious about. And
Hmm.
so we'll come back to that. All these points, we'll go back up to them and wrap them all up. But I do understand that you were in the military. So can you tell our viewers what branch of the military you were in, how long you were in, and what that experience was like for you, how it affected you and changed you as a person?
Oh, okay. Well, I was in the Marine Corps.
All right.
I do hold the title Marine, right? Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in 24 years. I joined in 1998 out of Kansas City, Missouri. And my last duty station was Cherry Point in Havelock, North Carolina, about an
Okay.
hour from where I'm at right now. And in the Marine Corps, I was my main job, my primary job was paralegal. So I ran law offices, and I managed people and court martials and things like that, HR board type stuff. That stuff type we did. And I did Marine Corps martial arts. I'm a Marine Corps martial arts instructor, a small weapons instructor. Combat veteran for Afghanistan, OIF 1, OIF 2, and so I've done all those things while in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And the Marine Corps, when I first joined the Marine Corps, I didn't speak at all. Like I was scared to get in front of people,
Wow.
and it gave me. I remember one warrant officer told me. He said, "Stop trying to be like everybody else and just be yourself.
Hmm.
Take the mission that you have to do and figure out how you do it the way you do it. You could
Mm-hmm.
have the same outcome, but it's the way because I was trying to beat everyone else, and
Yeah.
it didn't feel right. It didn't. It was like it felt like rehearsed and or not organic. And so when he told me that, I started to like believe in myself. And so the Marine Corps gave me courage to be who I am and not have to be apologetic for it, especially being a black man coming from the ghetto. You're not used to people, accepting you in
Right.
that because but I know why then because I was in the hood and I was looking like I was from the hood and acted
Mm-hmm.
like I was from the hood. But they gave me those tools. It helped me be brave, and it gave me like speaking skills, one, my organizational skills, my leadership skills, the amount of people and that I've talked to that have developed me over years, like either my subordinates or my higher ups, they have given me so many skills that most people will, it takes them a lifetime to achieve, right?
Yeah.
And so like when people say, "Oh, Michael," like, "Oh man, you know, most people can only handle 6 to 8 people." I was like, I can do that in my sleep. Six to
Hmm.
eight people ain't nothing. Like give me 500. You know what I mean? I can handle a whole
Yes.
region. And but if it wasn't for the Marine Corps showing me systems,
Right.
processes, and things to how to manage a larger scale projects, you know, doing Lean Six Sigma, doing combat deployments and workups, like do all these things structured to make me more efficient and make
Hmm.
sure the mission is accomplished. That's what the Marine Corps gave me. And it gave me culture. It showed me that where I come from is not the place that I'm going, you know?
I love it. That's so good. Okay, so that is a piece of your life, huge piece
Yes.
of your life, and it's impacting other people from all that it affected you and changed you. But I also know that you've been in lots of sports competitions
Mm.
and and Ironmans, as you talked about earlier. So how did that come to be a part of your life?
I always like hard stuff.
Yeah.
If it's if people say let's go do it, I don't want to do it. And when people say that can't be done, then I get excited. Like, oh man, you know, people told me I shouldn't be in the franchise. I should do my own thing. People told me that I shouldn't get a partner. I shouldn't get married, and all these hell, I shouldn't join the Marine Corps. People told me that. Everything people told me not to do, and I did the opposite. I actually have probably done more than they can even fathom. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so when I was in the Marine Corps, we did that. Like we were always trying to challenge each other over and over and over again. And I got stationed in California in San Diego. Then I got exposed to cycling and things like that. And I was like, man, this looks hard. And so I was like, what is this triathlon thing? And so I kind of like was one day, I train like a regular Marine and I go to the pool, I run, I ride my bike, but it wasn't nothing crazy. And then they had this triathlon on base called the Semper Tri. And it was a sprint, open water swim. I don't know if you know about surfing,
Hmm.
but down there they got a place called Trestles,
Okay.
right? It's one of the most popular surf spots in the world, and that's where we swim. But it's one, and I didn't swim well because we didn't. I mean, in a black community, you don't grow up swimming like that ain't a thing. And so, but I had been swimming in the Marine Corps, and I wasn't afraid. And one day I woke up, I went to the bathroom, I was looking outside. I said, "It's a nice day," and I remember the flyer for the race. I said, "I think the race is like to start. I'm gonna do the
Way.
race." And so I decided to go do the race, and I felt like I was gonna die. It was like it was the worst best thing that's ever happened to me. The swim took forever. I should have been swimming like at an angle. I swam straight, and so the current took me way over here, and I
That's
should have
kind of
been doing
smart.
something different. Oh, it was crazy. I had a full meal in transition when I should have had a snack or something.
Yes.
Changed clothes. I had new shoes with new insoles that I had never worn. My feet hurt the whole time I was running. It just went all bad, but I finished. And for me,
Amazing.
I don't like doing things and not being good at them and so it kind of humbled me. And I said,
Yes.
okay. And so I went all in. And so that year I did a sprint distance, Olympic distance, a half Ironman, and an Ironman in 6 months.
Incredible.
Right. And I was like, okay. And they were like, is it hard? I said, no, it's just a long day though. And so
No
I
kidding.
got caught up in the community and I
Yep.
just started doing more. And then once I had done a couple Ironman, I was like, that's when you start to get online and you start going, what's bigger? And I start
Yes.
typing in things. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I'll never do that. And all the things I said I'd never do, I've done. So
And so that's how you ended up building a community around yourself and meeting people in all of these spaces. But then did they all start asking you to coach them? Is that how you started coaching in that industry as well?
because I was already a personal trainer, and
Right.
yeah, and then I started, and the personal trainers don't make that great of money. I'm just being
Right.
honest; they just don't make that great of money. And then like I was looking at triathlon coaches, they were getting charged $300-400 a month. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I was
Mm-hmm.
trying, so I went and got certified Ironman certified coach, and I got nutrition certification. I did all my certifications. And my personal trainer was ISSA. I had all that stuff together, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I started doing it, and the problem is like I was trying to be transactional,
Yes.
and one of my mentors told me, he said the problem is you're trying to make money and you're not connecting with the people. He
Hmm.
said do it for the people and everything else will work itself out. And so that's when I switched. Instead of focusing on making money, I just started helping people. Like
Hmm.
I was there was one point I was coaching 75 people, right? And I just would just help them. That's it. And I got good at it, and I got started to learn. And then when I saw that mountain, so I just started to do it everywhere I went. And then people started to like grow. But I really blew up COVID. That's when like I was already like I had about 20 athletes before that, but I
Hmm.
wasn't charging them much, maybe $99 a month.
Yeah.
Uh, and COVID hit, everybody else was talking about Black Lives Matter and Trump this and COVID. Everybody was so negative. I just went in there and just started being really positive every day. Like I gave them the opposite of what they were getting from the rest of the world.
Hmm.
And then so all these brands started to reach out to me, Iron Man, Hoka, all these different brands started to reach out to me. And then what you know how that goes, social proof. Then it just I went from charging um, you know, $99 a month to $300 to $600 a month being flown here. Then when I start coaching all that, then my athletes and people start saying, "Hey, you ever thought about speaking?" And then that's when that happened. And then I started speaking at different Fortune 500 companies, tech companies, and stuff like that. And the rest was history. They started calling me the people's coach. I still coach people today. I have 30 athletes that I coach on a monthly basis. So I do training plans for them, life coaching, and professional coaching as well. Outside that, and I speak less now because I'm trying to focus more on growing my location.
Hmm.
And like I told Nick, my goal is to do everything that I used to do within Augusta because I
Got
really
it.
believe in it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why coaching is really important to me and connecting with the people, the other owners and within Augusta and the other crew members and stuff. And so
Hmm.
what I'm trying to do is transition that. And so I can have everything in one place because I know no matter what I do, I like helping people and I
Yeah.
want to do that. Cutting grass is like I'm like Michael. Cutting grass is not my thing. I'm good at it.
Yeah.
You're right, but I want to I want to build my location and learn from everyone, so I have the knowledge to help other people.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's just you glossed over a little bit about your sponsorships. So for the listener, how does someone get a sponsorship? So they must be watching you. They must be getting word that you're training, that these people are succeeding, they're doing well, they're winning competitions. And so
Yeah.
do they want to see you in those hokas, or do they want to see all of your athletes in them?
Me,
How, yeah,
me.
okay. So
'Cause,
they
I
want to
mean,
see.
it was a lot of things because during that time, being black was cool, and I don't say being like black ain't cool now, but I'm just saying like the joy, all that stuff was happening during that time, and
Hmm.
so me being black, me being a Marine,
Yeah.
me being able to speak well and
Hmm.
articulate myself well, and me being an ultra athlete, I had like the trifecta or the
Got
multiple
it.
things that the other
Yeah.
people didn't have, and so like not everybody can be sponsored. Like and for me, I wasn't always the fastest person. Like I'm not a pro athlete. Like that's
Yeah.
not what my life is. I did things that so I knew that I had to be good at the things that I was doing. And
Hmm.
so I was always helping people. And I always help people no matter what level. I've coached the CFO of Zoom. I've coached the CFO of Herbalife. I've had all kinds of athletes and stuff like that that have done crazy things, right?
Hmm.
And it's always because I just have genuine. I treat people like people.
Right.
And sometimes when you're selling yourself, people don't. 'Cause that when you're selling yourself, we automatically as humans connect that with being fake, like you're
Hmm.
not being genuine. But if
Right.
you're genuinely helpful, Mike talks about this too. I know we're gonna talk about Mike a couple times, but Mike talks about this. Like just go out there and do it. Just go out there and help people. And if you help them like that, it will start to turn over. It'll take a while, right? It took me probably 5 to 10 years before like the snowball effect got so far where I couldn't stop it, and I had to start
Yeah.
pushing back. But it was me just not worrying about how much I was making, but how much I was giving,
Yeah.
right? And when I
That's
start
great
doing that,
focus.
the people like I've never I've had, I've made so, because we on this one, I can talk like this. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in speaking. My speaking fee is 25 grand, period, no matter where I go. I have never advertised. I've never asked for a speaking engagement. I've never tried to get one at a certain place in my life. The people that have hired me have seen me, heard me, or I've coached them in some type of way. They've
Hmm.
seen something in me that because I was giving, I was always giving, and they
Hmm.
wanted to give something to me. And I remember my first speaking gig. It was like I met my friend. He's now a business partner actually, not Mike, but I got some property and stuff. And Juan was on a phone call because my friend asked me. He said, "Hey man, can you jump on a call? I want you to talk to a group of guys that just got out the military." And I was like, I think I was in St. George, Utah, doing the World Championships. Right, I think I was racing that time too,
Hmm.
and I jumped on the call in my rental car just to talk to him and give him that. And then my friend Juan, who worked for Johnson and Johnson, said, "Hey man, would you speak at my company?" I was like, sure. And this is a long time ago. I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I thought he was like talk a group of people, but then
Yes.
I started talking to him, and I had to go up against like some of these guys that I know they're still on YouTube too, and they're charging like $200,000-300,000 for a speaking engagement, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going up against them, and it was a group of us that had to like we put our resumes in, we talked to the teams, and then they came down to me and another lady, and this lady had actually been one of the vice presidents inside of Johnson and Johnson. And I'm
Wow.
like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And so he asked me during this process, like, how much you gonna charge? I said, let's do 5,000. He said, that ain't enough. He said
Wow.
they got a
Seriously?
big budget. He said, how about I tell them 25,000? And he said that. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I said, I'm not doing this. There's no way they hiring me. And he called me back like 2 days later and said, you got it. I said, I got what? He said, you got the speaking engagement. I said, oh, cool. He said, yeah, the one for $25,000. And I instantly got nervous as hell. I was
I
like,
bet you
what?
did. I
It's
bet you did.
25 grand. I said, I can't mess this one up.
No pressure.
And he said, there's one caveat though. I said, okay, what you got? I said, tell me what it is. He said, they want you to do it twice. They said they want you to do it one in Texas and one in Atlanta. He said, that's the only way they'll hire you. I said, what? I said, so you're 25 for both? He said, no, 25 for each. And I was like, and then after that, it just skyrocketed,
No
right?
kidding.
And but that chain of events caused, I went into it like I knew I couldn't, for lack of a better word, f it up, right?
Yes.
I couldn't f it up, and so I went to like people say I'm going to the lab. I went and I tried to I started watching Disney movies, watching how Disney made movies, watching other speakers, and it's like, okay, I need to tell my story. I don't need to tell them a story. I need to tell my story,
Right.
and I need to be myself, and I need to give them my emotion. It was the first time I ever cried in front of people, and because I was so deep into it, and then that first one, I got a standing ovation. The first one, because I went all in. It's not, and that one is actually on my YouTube channel. It's literally on there, the
Okay.
full thing.
We'll have to put the link in here.
Yeah, and it was on my YouTube channel, and like I went all in, and then from there, it was like me doing a TED talk. It just went crazy, and I stopped doing it though because it was just I wanted to be with my family, and I've learned that I'm not a superstar. I don't want to be traveling every 5 minutes. I
Hmm.
do it enough now, but like it gave me ability to be myself, and it
Yeah.
taught me how to tell a story. It taught me how to connect with people, and yeah, I don't know if I answered any of your questions, but
Nope. That's
that's
great.
that.
Yeah, that was the next one. So the first one was about the sponsors because I know people would be interested in that because we've seen you, in your workout gear online, and it's
Yeah.
kind of fun to see like why did he end up in the Hokas? Like how did he get sponsored by them?
Yeah.
And then my next thing was to ask you about the speaking. So the actual speaking itself, when somebody calls you and asks you to speak, do they ask you for like three or four of your speeches, and then you let them choose one, or how do they usually approach you?
No one, no, I don't. So I only speak about the stuff that is relevant to. Remember when you asked me about the speaking? I say, what is the topic?
Yes, yes.
If it's not something that I can connect with you, or the audience, I don't even do it. I'll turn it down,
I
right?
see.
And so what I did is like I would ask them, okay, what do you need? What is the key for this? What is it? And it's always change driven. I'm a change enthusiast, right?
Hmm.
And so we would talk about that, and I say, okay, who am I talking to? And then I would want to I spoke to the leaders of that. And usually I wanted to speak to the CEO or the VP or whatever it is,
Right.
and because I need to understand why you want me to do this. And then I would go from there and go from there. But I always, everything I did is built for that moment. And usually, not usually, always, I never remember what I spoke about. I create the
Like,
slideshows and I
yeah.
send like my slides. My graphic designer, she does them
Hmm.
for all my speaking engagements, and then I use the key points, and then I build my life story over. Because if you have to like, my thing is if I have to like read it or look at it, it ain't me. It's something
Yes.
else,
Yes.
right? And so I had to figure out a way to connect with what they're looking for, and the only way I can do that is connect with them. So I would speak to like each department head one on one, and not together. Because when they speak together, corporate world, when you're together, they like, oh yeah, no, I want to talk to you when you crying and all that stuff, and just me and you, because
Yeah.
it gives me the real story. And then that's why people, when I talk to them, is like, I basically when I spoke at the conference, we talked more and better was my theme, and Mike
Yes.
has been pushing it. And I say, how was my life? How did my life was more and better? Like, and I sat with that for like months because I didn't really finish it until like the back end. And I had to find a way how I connected with the story so I
Yeah.
could connect with the people.
Hmm.
And that was my process. And then that's what I give. But like I've never spoken about the same thing twice, ever.
Good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had that question about that. And then how you became a public speaker. So it just happened because people asked you, it sounds
Mhm.
like. And then a little bit back to where you were addressing how you prepared for that. So when somebody asked you to do a speech that very first time and you had to go and try to prepare yourself, were there certain speakers that you listened to? You said that you would listen to these, how they were made, but public speakers themselves, did you just Google public speakers and then start listening to speakers?
So I have a process, and I didn't understand it was actually a process until I became a part of Augusta. Uh, and so when I'm trying to learn things, I go all in, and it's
Yes.
only for it's like what we call now a sprint. And
Okay.
so if there's a certain subject that I want, if we're talking about change, then I'm gonna listen to 10 books,
Yep.
right, about change. I'm gonna watch 10 videos on YouTube about change, and then I'm gonna develop that. I'm saying then I'm gonna really think about 10 parts of my life that I've changed,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then what I do, I develop it, the key points, and like I call it the Disney effect, right? I want to try to make you smile, cry, laugh, and ponder. If I can do all those things, I'll pull you in,
Right.
right? And so that's how I develop, how I deliver my speeches. And then the second part of the speech part is be different, be you. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody's expecting. Like when we was at the thing, nobody expected me to do the things that I did. That's
Yeah.
why I did them,
Yes.
because everyone would remember me. Because if I come up here and I give it to you in a certain way, you're not going to remember me.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew, and this is me, this full transparency, as I try to grow within Augusta, not just my location, but Augusta as a whole, I had to connect with you. I had to connect with Nick. I had to connect with Mike, and then every owner in that room
Yes.
to prove my value. And the
Right.
same thing we do every day,
Yeah.
right? Because everybody, oh yeah, you speak, you speak. And it's almost like hold my beer,
Yep.
like you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Exactly.
And so you have to develop it, and during that, and the last piece of it, as I get closer to a speaking engagement, I learned this from Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Um, when he used to get ready for a set, and he might still do this. He would tell the jokes to other people just in passing, like he would just practice it over and over. And so what I do is whatever my speech is about, when I'm talking to people, I kind of veer them in that direction and use my content to help them out.
Yeah.
And I do it over and over and over and over again. So when I get up there, I don't need a note. I don't need to look at anything. I don't even remember what slide. Matter of fact, at the conference, I don't even remember changing the slides. I just know that they were there. I was
Yes.
looking at the time. That's the second thing I was looking at. I was looking at the time.
You were so
And
worried that you wouldn't be able to fit it into 30 minutes. That was great.
yeah, it's like the third time I've had something that short. So because I'm long winded, but like he told me just like it's like just practice it, and sometimes like practicing it with yourself is helpful in the beginning.
Hmm.
But how you if you really want to get good at your craft, like especially public speaking, talk to other people. And
Yes.
don't present it to them. Don't be like, oh, sit down and listen to me. Like just have a normal conversation and see if it connects with people. Because sometimes they won't react at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, well, that ain't a good one.
Not
But when
used to
I
that
tell
one.
my yep. And so I tell my story and it teaches you and then they like and you'll know when you got them because they'll start asking questions and they'll be more curious and they won't even be talking
Yeah.
sometimes, right? And so that's kind of my process. So Kevin Hart, um, that morning there before I was speaking um, at the conference, I was listening to what's his name? Was it Eric Thomas and
Okay.
Les Brown?
All
Right,
right. Yep.
right. And so another big one guy for me is Simon Sinek, Tony Robbins. Those guys are very to give me hype. I'm listening to Eric Thomas. I need to get hype like that. He's the guy. But when you're talking about like emotional connection, we're looking
Yes.
at like Tony Robbins. I'm looking at Les Brown, right? And that's the people I'm listening to. And those things are important to me, right? And for me, I stay away from the military people because like I am that guy.
You
Like
are them. Yes. I
you
am
know what I
them.
mean? Yeah.
Yes.
So like I don't do it for you. I want to listen to how you become a better man, a better husband, a better human. Like those things. Like I'm a war fighter. I don't like I don't need. I'm good at that. I know I'm good
Yes.
at that.
Yeah.
Right. And so I need the other things that haven't been developed, and those are the things that like really help me connect and get into the space where seeing what they see, and they all say, "Tell your story."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you all of those things and then kind of bring it around full circle so people would get a little bit of an idea of who you are. I want to whet people's appetite because I know that we share the same vision, and that is really we want to have impact on people. We want to change people's lives, and what are we here for if we're not here to do that? And so I know
100%.
that it's your heart to serve Augusta and just in everything you do to be making people's lives better. And so overall, I'll ask you some overall questions then. So to become the kind of person you are, what kind of content do you feed on a daily, weekly basis? And if I can simplify that, like currently, what would you be listening to? Podcasts and books and things like that. I might have to just say recently because I know over time it really changes the content and the value of it and what we listen to does change over time.
You know, well, Mike.
Yes, that's very good.
I've listened to all Mike's content at least 3 times, at
Oh my
least
word.
like every last. I like. There's nothing. If you look at my feed, there's nothing he's ever created that I haven't done. I've done it
Amazing.
all. Yeah, I just finished the one for the the location thing with him and Nick,
Yes.
and so I like that's every day I wake up. Did he post something? I even told him at the conference, bro, we need to get this. Like I've run out of stuff to look at. I
You need
need
to get your
more
game
stuff.
dialed in. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Mike is a big one because I want to be really good at it, right? And I guess what else who else would I I don't know her name. Alex
Oh,
Hermosi's
Layla and
wife,
Alex Hormozy. Layla. Yeah.
not Alex. I don't like Alex ain't got nothing for me. He's like he's what he the way he is with people with his content, I'm
Yes.
past that. Like like he's still trying to motivate people to get out. Like I don't need that.
Yeah.
His wife gives you like her life stories, real like what she is like, what
She
she's
gives
going through,
good
what she's learned as a
operational
leader.
advice. Yeah.
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 That stuff is good. It's like I never thought about it like that because like you get like even now if you get asked questions all the time, you do too because you Liz, right? You Mike's right hand, you know what I mean? And so
Hmm.
like when you see that person like they're asking you, well, how did you get here? What did you do? And she's telling you that organic stuff. He's trying to
Yeah.
motivate you. Like I don't need no motivation. I'm good, believe me,
Yeah.
right? And so, and then who's really impacted me, and this is as a husband, um, Mike and Bree.
Really.
Yep,
From
I told
Mike and
Bree.
Bree blog.
Yep, I because she had slowed it down when I saw her the first night we were in town. I said, "What happened?" Like, and she don't know me. Like, she don't know me, a man on the moon. And I was like, and I seen some of her stuff, and like one of the biggest things that I've learned is just because I'm 46, 47 years old doesn't mean I can't listen to people younger. And I respect him as a man and not only a business owner. And the things that they've been showing me is some of the things like I told her that I've struggled with even in the Marine Corps, right?
Hmm.
Because when I go all in, nobody else exists. Not
Yeah.
even like I would tell I remember telling my wife telling her like if a Marine calls, I'm leaving. If like they come first. We have a saying in the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps will, if they want you to have a wife, they'll issue you one, right? And
Hmm.
so like I was Marine, and but the thing I learned later in life is the thing Mike is like pushing now is like I need to show up for her when I'm here and for everybody else when I'm gone. But
Yes.
if I say that she's the most important person in my life, I need to treat her like that.
Yeah.
And seeing that connection really gives me hope. And
Yeah.
and they'll grow and they'll get older and they'll change. They're gonna have their problems and they're gonna have their disagreements. But seeing them do it and have so much emotional maturity at a young age, like you can't help but like get something from that, right?
Definitely.
And yeah, and so and then talking to you and I want to talk to people. I have a hard time. I don't know if we still on topic, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I have a hard time connecting personally with people. I can help anybody,
Hmm.
but I feel alone a lot.
Yes.
And because everybody can't keep up, that's the easiest way to say it,
Yeah.
right? 'Cause I'm
Yep.
doing a lot and like I'm high functioning. I want to do I got this saying, I say I'll live my life and your life at the same time because that's how
100%.
I can
Yep.
do that, right?
Yep.
And the world ain't like that though. Like 90%, 99% of the world ain't like that. You like that. That's why we connect. I can Nick, Mike, and but y'all ain't here. I don't see you every day. We don't talk
Exactly.
every day. And
Yep.
so most of the time I'm alone. And so being able to like follow you all and the content, it has given me a different purpose. And now like just being in Augusta, down there with Brian Connor and the rest of the Southeast, like that piece is like I don't feel by myself. And so
Yeah.
I listen to people and I listen to content that are about building community and building self. And if they ain't about that, if you don't want to help people, if you're a taker, I ain't for you. You ain't for me. I'm
No,
good.
Augusta's probably not for you if you're a taker.
Nope, not at all. And
It's
even
probably
when
the
I
wrong
like
place.
definitely the role play.
Yes, yes. So speaking of that, those that don't know what you're talking about, you just went to the Georgia meetup in Georgia. And
Mhm.
when we call it a meetup, it's different owners that organize it themselves. And
Right.
they meet up at a specific location to go over their numbers or what they're doing for the season or just to encourage one another. Can you tell me kind of the format of that, how many people showed up and what that experience was like?
Well, first shout out to Hunter, right? Or Daniel. I call him Daniel, but he said everybody calls him Hunter, but I like Daniel, right? So he set it up and he brought everybody together, and so it was like we had the first time we've done an annual budget that thing that Nick did for the 9 hours with
Yes.
16 slots, and so what everyone did is they brought their budgets together and kind of told the room the plan, and then the room what we call the Marine Corps murder boarding is like you put
Hmm.
it up in front of people and I'm just gonna put holes in it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you questions constructively, right?
Right.
And like, why are you doing this? Why did you do this? And it was to me, it was I had a great time. Lord, I wish I could have stayed down there for another 2 days, but everybody got to get back to work because the season is starting. because like you can ask the question that you're thinking about when you're watching these videos. Like,
Mm-hmm.
man, like because these are the people that are actually going through it. Like, why are you doing that? And then it's also in a point where we got to hear different strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Why, doing this and then seeing where other people were also wasting time. Why are you doing this? Like, why are you
Yeah.
creating this? And it's already Augusta's already done it.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is, and you'll love this. I sell command center. I'm like, if you ain't got command center, you're stupid. It don't even make sense,
You
right? I
said
don't care. Yeah, it don't even make sense to me because like I had an admin girl, and we were only at 200,000 when I had an admin girl paying her 40 grand, right? I had CPA, I had a bookkeeper, and guess what? Like for the amount I paid one of them, I could have all the command center, every damn feature
it. Yes.
for the whole
Yeah.
month.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I was like, that's a no brainer, but it's crazy how many people weren't using it. And so you get to see that, and you get to see the people that are going to be successful, the people that are struggling, and the people that are already successful. And then you get the chance to like ask the questions in a safe environment
I
and
love
just
it.
break bread with the guys. Like it
Yeah.
was, and the gals that were there. It was really fun. People came from Tennessee, Florida. It was about 20 to 22 people there. Um,
Fantastic.
and we said that room, and it was, how something is so good. In most cases, we get bored real easy. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
like watching TV. I can watch a couple shows and then I get bored.
Yep.
And but when I'm learning, like I was engaged the whole time. Like I didn't need to stand up. I don't need to drink a water. I don't need a break. Like let's just go. And my brain is
100%.
like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's what it gave us. Then we had two people that stood out. Well, was Hunter Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that damn spreadsheet like the back of his hand, right? And that
Really.
was very helpful for me and everyone else because he was able to tell us how it worked because he had sat down with Connor Hutchins and they went through the spreadsheet together. He brought that knowledge with him. And then we had
So
a
good.
phenomenal coach there, Brian Connor, right? And then so you ain't gotta make a call. Anytime you got an issue, just ask him. He was right there. And he would give you his criticism because he's done it wrong, he's done it right,
Yes.
right? He's done it
Experience.
small and he's done it big. Like so he
Yeah.
asked he said this a couple of times. He said, I've been where you are, right? And not to minimize anybody, but that's the closest thing you're gonna get to hanging out with Mike. I'm
It
just gonna be
is.
honest with you, 'cause
100%.
Mike
Yeah.
he got stuff going on, man. Like, but like you get these relationships that people call you. Like two people called me today, messaged me, and just ask just simple questions, and then you learn like who does what, who's good at chemicals, who's good at mowing, who's good
Right.
at spreadsheets, right? And then you use them or you help them and assist them with whatever you're good with.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you say to somebody who is just becoming a franchisee right now? There's so much to learn. There's so much to know, and there's so many directions it's all coming from. What would you tell them to be able to just to chill out and stay the course and get started? What would you tell a newbie?
The biggest, okay, this, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna try to say it in the nicest way I can say it because this is actually rubbed me wrong way since I've been in Augusta. Um, you joined Augusta because Mike Andy showed you something that was possible, but you choose to do it the opposite of what Mike Andy's is showing you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're doing the total opposite of that, right? And so
Yeah.
if you're here, you should be following the systems. If you want to do it your way, why did you join? And that's just me
Right.
being super direct. And I don't know if I think either Nick or I think Nick told me this a long time ago. He said, before you try to change the system, perfect the one that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so
Yes.
everything that Augusta has given you, perfect that, be a student of that. I don't want my location to be the way I want it. I don't want to, you know why I don't want to do chemicals and we did chemicals? Because Mike ain't doing it. Because Brian Connor ain't doing, they ain't doing that stuff. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're focused on that. We got rid of that. We got rid of aeration. Like I almost got rid of Christmas lights because if Bellingham or Mount Vernon ain't wasn't doing it, I don't want to do it because that's the closest I'm going to get to seeing, because I want the results that he has. And so if
Yes.
I'm doing it different, I'm not going to have the same results. And
Yes.
so follow the systems, and and I will say digest as much content of Augusta that you can hold, because everybody's different, on a daily basis. Because this is one thing. Like, people are like, oh, did you read the Copy and Paste Millionaire? I did read it. And you know what I realized? It's the stuff he's already saying to us.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
people
is.
just not listening. Like, I'm like, I didn't, they're like, what you get from it? Nothing. He said, what you mean? I said, because I already got it. He's already given it to me. In every video he says the same stuff. And even now, if you're paying attention, when he answers questions, he only speaks through the book.
Yes.
Like, you can't make this up. The pattern is there. If it ain't
Yeah.
broke, don't fix it. Do it the way that with the systems that are presented to you, and then guess what that did? It puts you in a place to understand how to fix it or move it forward, and you don't have to keep guessing. You're not alone. You don't have to do it by yourself. There's somebody to help you. I told her, I'm not a coach. I'm not an Augusta coach, but I'm coaching owners within Augusta, right? And I told somebody the other day, I was like, if there's something going on with your business, the first thing you should ask yourself is like, who else I could ask in Augusta to help me?
Yes.
Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to create another spreadsheet. Don't try to do anything else. You don't. It's too many of us. You don't have to do that no more.
Mm-hmm.
Just reach out. If it's command center or whatever it is, ask the question. Somebody will point you in the right direction. You do not
100%.
have to recreate the wheel.
Exactly. Yeah. No,
That's
that's
it.
it. That's exactly right. And that is the same for so many different things in life, and so many ways you can coach people just by stuff like that. I already told you that's the way you needed to do it, but people don't want to listen.
They
I guess
don't, and it's crazy.
it is. It's unbelievable.
I'll say this real quick. Like, it's so many of y'all, and I ain't saying no names on here, that y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen. You doing your own thing, and then you wonder why it don't work, because you're not doing what you're told to do. And if you do more, that's why I pick more and better. Stop trying to do different. Do
Mm-hmm.
more and better. Do that. And if that doesn't work, when after you've done it repeatedly, then change. But I'm almost 98% sure that if you do it the way the people that have been successful do it, you won't miss a beat.
I agree
There are
with that.
companies within Augusta, like Brian Connor being one of them. He don't offer a whole bunch of stuff. He offers mowing. He don't have no commercial clients. He has residential. So you can't tell me it ain't gonna work. It's, you just are not doing the right things. And I know there's a lot of information to digest. There's a crap ton.
Mm-hmm.
But if you simplify, you will see it. You don't see it now because you're distracted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, and so just a couple more questions. I am whetting people's appetite. You know, you're going to get a lot of people connecting with you. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to give them a little preface into the life of Morgan, and if they had questions for you, how they could reach out. But they would see just from what you're saying now. This is the kind of person I am. This is the character I have. This is what I'm bringing to Augusta. And by your example, I hope that they will also. And when I connected with you, it's just like immediate, just with a few texts, like kindred spirit, we're on the same page.
Oh yes.
And
We already taught me stuff. I'm already doing some of the stuff you taught.
it's so
So
good. It's so good. And just, it's like, well, it's basically like, welcome to the team. Welcome to our life. Let's do this thing. Let's go forward and build something great together. And every single
100%.
person that comes to Augusta that's the way I feel. Like, we finally met. We had to wait all these years to meet each other. Now we're going to do something great together. And so I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. And
Yeah.
so others can get to know you that didn't get to meet you at the conference. And they will get to meet you. I have lots of great ideas for us in the next coming year. And we're going to have another summit coming
Put me
up.
to work.
Yes, I'm going to put you to work. It's going to be so good. So I just want to thank you for all the time that you spent with people already and encourage them. The getting into the systems is such a big thing. To hear Brian Connors, his part of the story, and to
Right.
see all he had to change in himself to become the person that he is now and the coach that he is now, to actually tell people to simplify, is mind blowing from where he came from. And it works. It's so true.
Yep.
And in everything in our life, if we would just simplify, it would probably make a big difference. Like you're saying, focus on a thing and go for it.
You preaching now. Yeah,
Yeah.
we complicate things. More and better don't mean everything and better. It's more of what you're doing and better. And like the biggest piece is there's no enemy outside if there's no enemy within. The
Yeah.
chaos is in here. And if we focus on who we are first, that growth, because you're trying while you're doing a whole bunch of things because there's something in to you that's not satisfied, but
Mm-hmm.
you ain't done no self-work. You're just trying to do things on the outside and you think that's gonna make you feel better, but it never changes. So you just keep chasing it and you keep chasing it and you keep chasing it. Work here,
Mm-hmm.
focus, simplify. Everything else is
Beautiful.
history.
Beautiful. So to wrap up, can you just give us kind of your business goal, your kind of plan for Augusta for this coming
Mm.
year?
Well, I started off. The key is we're trying to go to 750,000 in revenue, right? With a
So you
great
were
profit
told.
margin. Yeah, because I was just trying to break 500, but then when I did the numbers, I said we're gonna break 500 without even trying. Like literally, I know we are because we didn't take any downtime in the winter. We've made 20 grand at minimum the whole winter. And
Awesome.
we've never even made money in the winter. So
So
that in
good.
itself, that's almost $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so we're going to do that. We're going to add probably one more truck and we're going to start to plan and look for the second location.
Okay.
But we will follow the systems. We will not start until we have everything lined out and smooth and everything is where it needs to be. And for me, I have a little bit bigger background when it comes administratively and
Mm-hmm.
creating things. And so the SOPs we are writing as we go. And I have a partner, so I'm not as condensed as everybody else is, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's just trying to get to that point where I can start another location, and the last thing that I'm trying to do is be more involved in Augusta. Like I told Mike himself, I said, give me more. That's what I told him, right? And then becoming an official coach, and my long term outcome,
Who
you
knows?
gotta you gotta understand that like I like to be at the top, and so I want to be on the council at some point, and I need the knowledge to do that, and that's where I'm going.
There you go. I think you're
Yeah,
allowed to be there after a couple years. So it's just
watch me
time. One more
hold
year.
my beer.
One more year from
Yeah,
today. That's so exciting.
yeah.
Well, I will let you go, and I thank you for your time. I know everyone will be connecting with you now, and don't be a stranger from me, though.
No, no. I'll check on you. I got a reminder in my phone to make me check on you at least once a month,
Yeah,
at least
that's just so you can hold me accountable to my 2026 goals. You
one
lucky
hundred
one. You got to see my goals for the year now.
percent. It helped me. Hey, it
Now,
made me. It's gonna make me a better husband. Like you,
uh,
like yeah. Believe me, that's a whole nother story. But I will hold you accountable, and I will stay connected for sure. It's worth it every moment of it.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, you have a great day and take care of yourself.
You too.